So, welcome everyone to this Tech Talk series, which is all about Mint. And I'm very happy to introduce Jag, who's going to be presenting today. The first of this series is going to be on a Mint overview. Before I hand over to Jag, I'm just going to go through some housekeeping. So, basically, the lines are muted at the end. At the moment, the Tech Talk is being recorded. I'll unmute the lines at the end if you have any questions. And the recording will be posted on TraceLink University. And I'd like to introduce as well Nimmakayala, who's been at TraceLink for over 7 years now, working in the product leadership team. So he's focused on scaling reusable, transaction canonical orchestration, and agent-ready capabilities for end-to-end digital supply chains. And so he's going to be presenting today on the Mint overview, as mentioned, and then he'll have people from his team presenting on the rest of the series as well. So very exciting information coming up about Mint. Like I said, this is the first of the series. We're going to go through some use cases. Also later on in other series, go through the architecture. But I'm going to hand over to Jag in a moment and just go through our antitrust guidelines. As always, we have our classes are public. So we just ask you not to engage in any discussions around pricing, deal making, selling, promoting, or any other activities which could be seen as anti-competitive. And for our class guidelines on the next slide, again, because our classes are public and we do have a limited time frame, we just ask you to refrain from initiating any discussions about company-specific examples. Having said that, if you do have any specific use cases you wish to raise, we can, of course, take those offline and I can pass any questions on to Jag and his team. And if you have any questions at the end, please feel free to ask those questions today. And on that, I'm going to hand over to Jag now. Thank you so much, Jag, for presenting this Tech Talk series on Mint.
Thank you, Laura. Really excited for this opportunity. And we as a Mint team from TraceLink are really excited to take you through the journey of what Mint is and how different use cases are the customer problem statements Mint addresses. And I welcome everyone and thank you for giving us opportunity to walk you through this. Stay tuned with us. And today's agenda, we're going to walk you through with, just start with introduction to series. And next one, I will dive deeper into why Mint exists itself so that you know the context, in the context why we built the Mint. Then next, the core concept of TraceLink and Mint is like integrate once and interoperate with everyone. That's our core capabilities. We will dive deeper into it. Today we will go more at a very high level, different use cases and how it differentiates between a point-to-point versus integrate once and interoperate with everyone. And then we'll look into one of the key differentiators of Opus platform, and Mint itself is the metadata first. What it is and how it is helping us to be future ready. And the next point next item we'll be focusing on orchestrations, which are decision ready data and agents. We'll talk about the different transaction set, different orchestrations, and how Mint agents are going to help our customers in solving their business use cases and helping their users become more productivity. And in the end, we will introduce to the TraceLink Mint community. And then from there, we'll take your question and answers. I'm really excited and look forward for you guys to learn with us. Okay. As part of the introduction to series, I just want to give you an overview like how we're going to tackle and the different topics we're going to use over this next 5 to 6 sessions of Mint Tech Talks. So today's session will be at overview, like why Mint exists, what are the core capabilities and the differentiating factors of Mint. Then in next session, we will dive deeper into one of the key use cases, the problem statements which our customers are facing, and they are using Mint to solve it. And this is one of the rapidly increasing our network capabilities. That's called Mint for serialization. We'll talk about what's that feature is, what are the different use cases, and how we are helping to address those use cases. This will be led by one of our PMs. And next series, we'll be talking more about how Mint uses the link actions. That's a API-based integrations with the SAP, Microsoft Dynamics, and NetSuite. How this we have the out-of-the-box integration capabilities available so that our customers who have the ERPs with SAP, Microsoft, or NetSuite can start working with us using our link actions. So we'll talk about the different use cases, how we integrate, and how we work with our different customers. And above all, we'll talk more about the use cases, how we saw helped our customers to accelerate their integrations. And then next series we will talk about is more about our orchestrations. We'll dive deeper into the external manufacturing commerce orchestrations. And then from there, we will dive deeper into reports and dashboards, how our customers can take uh, advantage of the pre-baked reports and dashboards which are available, which are orchestration centric, which helps you with understanding the how data, what are the business decisions are being made, and how you can use this information to take your help with your day-to-day decisions. And then in final session, we will wrap up with Mint agents. We will use one of the agents to walk you through the different agents you can build, how the agents are built on Mint as Mint agents, and how they are going to solve your business use cases is what we're going to focus on. And then we will demo one of the agent use cases so you can see the one of the agents we have built, how it works, and how it's going to help our customers, business users to become more productive. So that's will be the more of a functional set of series. And then we will start the phase two of the series, which will be diving deeper into the technical aspects of it. So thank, I request you to continue to join us uh, and learn from us, and let's continue to learn together. Okay, now let's dive deeper into why Mint exists. So generally, what we have learned from our customers when we were building Mint product, we researched like what is the biggest challenge our customers are facing today in realizing their goal of getting end-to-end digitization. Why end-to-end digitization is required? Because that's gonna be the key to unlock them to understand what are their supply chain challenges and how to mitigate them and how to become more productive and be more business proactively understand and solve their business problems. And that's where many of the companies today have different systems. Like if you take a brand owner, they work with different trade partners like CMOs, CPOs, 3PLs, wholesalers, distributors, hospitals, dispensers, suppliers, logistics providers, you name them. They are working with all these different trade partners who are part of their supply chain. But each one of them speaks in a different technical language because of their system. Some work with SAP, some use Microsoft, some still are working with their Excel files. So there are different technical ways of communicating the same information. But what will happen by having this technical information, you are getting the technical information from your partners. But for you to have an end-to-end uh, digitization, you don't need a different technical languages from your different partners. You need something which is a business process, which understands which have the shared meaning. Because now, when you talk from a business process context, you understand in what context this particular information is being shared, so that I can use that data which is available for that business process and use that for analyzing it and being prepared for the challenges which I'm going to face. So this is what is a bigger problem for most of the supply chain life sciences companies today. And this is where the crux of the problem, because when we go to these customers and talk to them, all in life sciences, they talk about one of the key questions: where is my product? How long it's going to take? Are my are my suppliers delivering on time so that I can fulfill my customer needs? So these are the questions they are asking, and they've been asking for years. And when they build the different EDI systems as well, they have built point-to-point solutions, which helps them to build with every trade partner they are connecting, they are creating a new integration with each one of them. And then as they build each integration connection, it's a new connection altogether, and they end up paying more for every point connection, and it takes the same more amount of time. And the bigger problem comes in is the maintenance of it. Why? Because when you change something for one partner, now you are changing it for that one point, but there are 50 partners who may be consuming the same message. Now you have to change the 50 different integrations on the partner side. So this is what becomes more, the point-to-point integration becomes more complex in maintainability. And this is the core problem why Mint exists to solve. Because we try to do, Mint is not just about moving a file from point A to point B. It is about turning partner communication into standardized, reusable, orchestration ready business transactions. So when we say standardize, what we are defining is like every transaction, we research about the transaction, and we understand what is the core business need, and we understand what are the standards out there in which this transaction can be exchanged. When I say standards like X12, Edifact, iDocs, when they come from SAP, and then there are standard APIs which are available for this. So we research about these transactions, take the different standards, and we kind of create that business definition of this transaction itself, which now is a reusable, because now the same standard transforms we build, they can be used for everyone else, because these are standard. As long you stay with standard, we use the standard ones. If you're doing a custom, we help you to tweak that little bit customization, and it becomes a very standard implementation for you. And then when we say orchestration ready, now these transactions, you can exchange purchase order from a procure to pay cycle, as well as order to cash. So now you need to distinguish and understand what are the orders you're getting it from my upstream or downstream processes. So that's where TraceLink creates these transactions orchestration specific, so that you can exchange them in a very in a business process way, than it being just a transaction which is being shared from a point A to point B. This is the major shift from what you have been doing in traditional with all the B2B integrations. It is not just moving a file from point A to point B. It is you're shifting from integration as a plumbing to integration as a supply chain integration layer, intelligence layer, because now you're building a common definition for all your transactions and making them reusable, and you are defining them in such a way that everyone understands in the same language, and this becomes a foundation for building your intelligence. Now you understand everything from the business process standpoint. So this is why Mint exists, to help you transition from integration as a plumbing to an integration as a supply chain intelligence layer. Now we will go deeper into the next concept. That's called integrate once, an end-to-end network for collective growth. What is this? Integrate once and interoperate with everyone. How is it different, and why do we need that? Like in previously, just why Mint exists, the current way of solving the end-to-end digitization problem, our customers and prospects use point to point as a way. But with TraceLink's integrate once and interoperate with everyone, what we are doing is we are actually taking every partner, every trade partner, and we are making them as a entity on TraceLink network. Okay, so this becomes like And every TraceLink partner has now its own network. If you become our customer, you are becoming your own network of your own, and then you can work with. Now let's go slightly deeper into like what it means as well. Now, if you look at this slide, the TraceLink is a network we are building where you as an entity is a has its unique ID. So let's say Jag and Co Pharma. Jag and Co Pharma is a MH who is manufacturing, uh, let's say, a drug to help with the fever. So what we do is like TraceLink. They come on TraceLink as a MH. Now he can work with to manufacture his products. He can work with his suppliers to get the API and packaging material. And at the same time, whatever he manufactured, now he can sell it to his trade partners like wholesalers, distributors, and hospitals. So now he has to look at the downstream processes as well. But when he is working, when he is a network member on TraceLink, he has his unique ID, a digital twin, and he is identified uniquely for all the other trading partners if they want to work with. So that's what you are created as. You, Jag and Co. is a company. It exists only once as a digital twin on TraceLink network. Now, anyone who wants to work with him, work with the different partners, and then they can identify Jag as a unique entity on the TraceLink network. Now, now that you have your unique ID, that is your digital twin ID, TraceLink Jag and Co. is identified. Now, what happens? I can have a way to integrate because now every time you are created, you have your unique ID created for you. And then now I may have, because me as a company, I have like my own ERP, which takes care of my business processes from my procure to finance. But where I have warehouse transactions which deal with all the stock, and I use warehouse management transaction system for handling all the warehouse activities. So now I have two different systems which I need to exchange the data and to talk to my partners. Now, let's say when I am placing from medical supplies from a Jag and Co standpoint, what Jag is trying to say is like now when I'm trying to put, I'm gonna integrate once. Jag is integrating his system, connecting his SAP and warehouse management system once, because now we understand when we are trying to integrate once, we create Jag as a unique profile, and we understand what are his, how does he wants to select. Like he can exchange the data using TraceLink UI, or he can use his ERP, which is SAP HANA, and share the data using purchase order, let's say either NetSuite purchase order API, which comes in a file format. It's called as we call it as a transform. You send your raw file in your SAP HANA from your SAP HANA system, and we understand that whenever Jag and Co is going to send the file, he's always going to send it in a IDOC format. And then that format, we will create a standard IDOC map for it, transform, and we take that and we map it to TraceLink canonical. This is what makes it reusable part of it. So TraceLink's canonical is a superset data model for all the transactions. So for every transaction, we have its own canonical. Like for purchase order, we have its own canonical, which is a very normalized way of understanding the purchase order transaction. A purchase order consists of its header details, like it has purchase order due date, purchase order date, what are the delivery terms, what are the shipping terms, what can be my how I'm gonna my payment terms, and then it's gonna have its line items which has different products, how much quantity, price, cost, and the taxes what are applicable. So we define all these data sets in a business understandable format and store them in a canonical. So whenever Jag and Co sends the purchase order, we take the IDOC, we transform it and map it to a canonical. So now TraceLink, whatever you in your SAP, you may say like purchase order date can be just sent as an order date. But when we store, we know that it's a purchase order date. It's a business context. So we store it in a canonical as a purchase order date. So it becomes now everyone understands that when we send this data out to your partners, we send it as a purchase order date. Or if they understand it as an order, they can understand it as an order as well. We can transform it into the order data. But what we are trying to do, we are standardizing the definitions of all this data, which is part of each transaction, and how we're going to send it out to your partners. So now you have a standard PO canonical. And once from PO canonical, we can send it to the partner. Let's say on this side, we have a NovoCureX system, which has EDI system. So we can send it as orders, which is or a Corex system, which has a SAP. We can send it as a SAP IDOC format. So we take the canonical data, which is mapped from Jag and Co's data, and which has a structure. Now, however, the partner pharma excel writes, let's say they want to receive it in IDOC, we take the data from canonical and we map it, we transform it into IDOC format, and we send it across. So now the key point what we are trying to drive here. So Jag and Co has to integrate once with TraceLink for their purchase order transactions. And we know what transaction is going to come. And then today he's only starting with Pharma Excel as one of the partners. So Jag integrates with TraceLink, and TraceLink onboards the partner Pharma Excel and transforms the file and sends it to how Pharma Excel wants it. Now, once this integration is successful, now Jag and Co says like, I also work with Orion Health System, which has Oracle as their ERP. Now they want to receive it as a XML file. So what does he do? Now Jag and Co doesn't have to change their integration because they continue to send it as a IDOC file, API based file, which comes in and translate. The purchase order remains the same, how it has to, they send it, it converts it into canonical. But now TraceLink creates a link between the uh, 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 Orion Health and the Jag and Co. And then with that link, we know that what file format they would like to receive. They say the XML. So we can create a transform from canonical for Orion Health System, which will translate the data from the canonical and map how Oracle will like to receive as an XML file. And then that's the integration. That's one time. Now the beauty of this comes in. Jag and Co now integrated with Pharma Excel and Orion. Now tomorrow, another new MH comes on board and who wants to exchange the PO with same Orion Health and Pharma Excel. Let's say VitaCore wants to send with NetSuite. Now with TraceLink, VitaCore will be onboarded as a TraceLink network entity. And all that first step VitaCore has to do is like they will create an integration profile. And now the TraceLink will, using their link actions, connect to their NetSuite, extract the data from their PO data from their NetSuite. And this is the first integration they have to do. And once that integration is done, now they can, VitaCore can exchange the same transaction to Pharma Excel and Orion Health because they don't have to do anything because we have built the integration from Jag and Co perspective with Pharma Excel and Orion Health. And TraceLink understands that how they would like to receive the purchase order. One Orion Health like to receive in XML and Pharma Excel likes to receive it in IDOC format. So we send them in those formats to them. So all that they have to do is like VitaCore has to be onboarded and start exchanging, and they can link with Pharma Excel and Orion Health, and they get going. So this is how the network you are building helps you to accelerate your integrations because TraceLink's core foundations are two. One is the transforms, the second one is the canonical. The transforms helps us to translate from customers' files, and we take them and translate into TraceLink canonical format. And when we use the same transforms to translate it out to the trade partners way of understanding, or the file formats they like to understand, they would understand, and we translate them and we send it across. This way of network level integrate once, allows you to build your, not just your network, but your collective network of life sciences industry, where all can use this to grow their um, data for all the network entities. Together they are growing, and then we can accelerate the growth of the network, and you can accelerate your digitization uh, goals as well. So today we have almost 300,000 plus active network links, 300,000 plus trade partners. We have 70 to 80% pharma supply chain products covered with us. We have already seen 4.4 billion customer savings versus point-to-point integrations. This is all not just something we have doing it for Mint. If you have followed TraceLink, the integrate once and interoperate with everyone, this concept was introduced in 2014, and we were launching the uh, track and trace and compliance modules of TraceLink to help our customers to be compliant with the US government, USDACA regulations. And when we started with the ASNs integrating for using EPCIS files. So this integrate once and interoperate has been our core foundation for our compliance and track and trace. Now, same model has been extended to business transactions as well. So this is not a new concept. This is already TraceLink has proven this model works. We understand the challenges and we know how to work through with our partners. So this is where we differentiate. And the core foundation is like the reusable transforms and a standardized canonical is what separates us to accelerate our customer onboarding. Okay, so I have explained you what is end-to-end network for integrate once and interoperate concept. Now I will take a deeper dive into like the core idea of integrate once and interoperate with everyone. Kind of give comparison between how it is a difference, how it differentiates between legacy point-to-point system to TraceLink, Mint, and network model. So what we are trying to do is the core model. We move from technical file exchange to business-aware, reusable supply chain orchestration. So in legacy point-to-point, the connecting is very technical. That means you are building a 50 partners, mean 50 variations of onboarding, mapping, testing, support, and monitoring. So connecting asks, what does it ask? Can I send you this file? How you can choose? Oh, you can say, yes, you can send this file. But what does that file mean for me? Or if you say that it's purchase order, okay, I will build that integration with you. Oh, it's a file purchase order for me. So now I need to call these internal APIs for me to consume it in my ERP. But what does a TraceLink network model do? It's linking. That means it's a business aware. Jag and Co was linking to Pharma Excel in the context of purchase order. That is external manufacturing, because PharmaLink was supplying him the API material. So that's how we integrate. Now we link with the business partners to make it as a business aware, rather than just saying, oh, I'm sending you purchase order. But in what context is what is differentiated using the linking model. And as I explained you past, Jag and Co is one connection which is reusable with connecting with multiple trade partners. And then we use transforms, canonicals, link actions, and we have validations when the transactions comes through. You can use reports to build dashboards. And then we have different orchestrations in which you're going to get this data in. So that means what the question we are asking here, linking us, can we run a shared process with common meaning, visibility, and rules? So that means, okay, you are sending me purchase order in the context of me buying material from you. Now my wholesaler can ask with me saying that, oh, this is my purchase order with you. That means he's asking you, can you sell your product in the context of selling? That is you being a supplier at that time. So this is what we call it as a context aware, a business aware. so that you linking helps us to determine how you're linked, how you want to orchestrate your whole business processes. So now when you look at the data underlying, you know that you are connected, you're linked with these partners in this context. So now I need to analyze and provide you the reports and dashboards in that business aware context, rather just doing, oh, these are the POs. And now I build on top of it manually the business process orchestration context building. So that's all you avoid. This is all baked into the core canonicals, transforms, and how you link with your partners. So an example, WSA can be an ASN as a reusable business pattern. 3PL sends a warehouse ship advice, metadata identifies object, canonical gives meaning, partner configure routes, and transform creates ASN. And this is where rules and reports comes in. And then we talk about agents later, that agents detects exceptions if there were anything. So I hope this helps to understand the core differences between how do you point to point versus mints integrate once and interoperate with everyone. Because this is a huge shift from what you are doing, from just being a transportation layer to a intelligent business orchestration layer. Okay, and now we are moving to the next core concept of how what is Mint built on. So we talked about canonicals a bit, right? We will go in detail in upcoming sessions how canonicals are built, what is the canonical, how we structure it. But the canonicals are a metadata object. When we say metadata, it's the data definition of how data should be stored. And we give meaning to everything we store in the metadata, if in the TraceLink. So metadata first means meaning comes first. We don't go and create, okay, give me that attribute or give me this. We actually define what does it mean when you say date? What does it mean? I can have many number of dates. What is a requested? I can have a requested date. I can have ship date. I can have order date. I can have receipt date, invoice date. I can have multiple types of dates you like my promise date. So I can have a multiple types of dates within each transaction. But each transaction, how do you differentiate between a date versus a requested date? So when we define our metadata, we define what does a date means. A date means it have a business context. If it is requested, means that's being whoever is sending the transaction, he is requesting this to be delivered by this date. And the one who is shipping the data, he's saying that this is my ship date. So we have defined, when we are defining metadata itself, we are saying what does the definition of it means and what is the business meaning of it, not just an attribute. It's a field is not enough for anyone to understand. Mint must know the business meaning, process, role, and decision context. And this is where metadata turns raw partner data and into business contextual, validated, and reusable data. Some of the examples we are putting it here, it's a date, quantities, you have different order type, shipped, received, available, blocked, location, and we have weights. You can capture like different types of weights, like net weight, tear weight, gross weight. So we can have mass taxes, different types of taxes and different types of prices. So we have defined all this into our metadata itself. So now when someone says, I'm sending you a date field, so we know like what does it mean? And that's ingrained in our metadata itself, and our anyone who is reading our metadata knows like, oh, what information he's reading to. So this is where we separate ourselves from most of the whole Mint was built metadata as first. That is, we give meaning first to whatever we are building, and then we build on top of it. So that's why it's clean semantics, reliable validation, which helps us building better dashboards and then stronger agent decisions. So today, in the many of the current what we have hearing with our prospects and the customers, when we talk to them, what we are learning is like many of their bigger challenge for them to use any of their AI models which are available for them to gain real production ready uh, uh, details or the production level decisions out of their LLMs. is the lack of clean metadata, because these companies have built through the ERPs, multiple ERPs, legacy systems, and then dashboard, warehouse systems, various order management systems, and then the definitions vary between each system. And now when we are trying to run their models, the bigger challenge becomes is like when they store the data, it's more of a table for them. How do you store it as a field? And most of the business logic lies in their business app itself, like they're in ERP. So business controls like, oh, what I should do with this, what does the meaning of this data, how I'm store, and then it just sends it, store it in this attribute. So the problem is like the data which is being stored and the business logic are being separated. So now when they want to run their agents and models to get meaningful insights, they have the model needs to now learn what the business code is written in their business applications, not just look at the data itself to make a, to give better outcomes for you. So this is where TraceLink is making a huge difference for our customers who start with us. They have the day from the day one, they have their metadata, they have defined the meaning. So now when they're building agents on top of it using Opus Mint agents, they understand, a Mint agent understands that what is the meaning of this data which is being stored and how I need to operate on it. So clean metadata is the difference between moving data and understanding data. So this is where TraceLink Mint provides you the a clean metadata, which makes a difference from making sure that we are just not exchanging data, but you're understanding the data as well. Okay, so we'll move to the next one about how many different transactions and different orchestrations are available within the Mint. So today, Mint supports 4 different orchestrations: my manufacturing orchestrations, logistics, commerce, and transportation. And within a short span of 2 years, we as a Mint team, we have built around 65 plus unique transactions, which are like in manufacturing, we have worked with different customers, and many of them are using our transactions for their different processes. So we are not just building transactions, we are orchestrating them. So in manufacturing, you start with your production forecast planning, then you can get a response from your partner saying, oh, does it align with their plans, with the capacity or not? So you use forecast plan response from Mint UI itself, or you can respond back with the same forecast plan which was sent by your form, your MAH. You can respond back with your details. And then once the plans are finalized, you can send the purchase orders and you can get the purchase order acknowledgement. So if you look at these transactions, we are helping them to orchestrate in every area possible. Like in logistics, we help them to handle their warehouse operations as well. And when you look at transportation, we help you to not just understand one of the key questions which is addressed in transportation orchestration: where is my product? Because most companies are question this. So I got a purchase order, I got ASNs from my I got purchase order, I'm saying that purchase order is acknowledged. Now my partner is sending, my supplier is sending, I'm shipping it, but after that it's everything goes blind until I know that it's received in somewhere. So now we help that our customers using transportation orchestration. Now they can work with their logistics provider to get carrier shipment status, or they can start everything, get visibility from booking request to confirmation and shipping instructions. And then carrier shipment status gets you keep on getting the statuses saying that where my product is and how far it's on in its journey. And then we can keep track of the journey event logs throughout the journey and use that information to know where my product is. If it is reaching my port, then you can use ocean shipment arrival notice to know that okay, it's coming, so that you can plan ahead of time that once my container reaches the dock, I am ready to pick it up so that I don't incur additional costs at my customs yard. So I get the customs clearance soon. I get the information early so I can get it custom cleared and load it and get it to my warehouse. So we are helping our customers to get this information and address the key questions what they're looking for, like where my product is, how long it's going to take, and where it is in the process. Okay, so now we will move from agents to pivot. Now that we have all the foundations, like we are helping our businesses to how to link, how to interoperate and exchange, how to use our canonical model, and then understand having the meaning with metadata. And with different orchestrations, we define different transactions. So we are providing the orchestrations to the transactions itself. Now you can use we can build meaningful agents which help your business users to become more productive, because these agents can come in and work on from metadata to intelligent execution. They are not just there. These agents which you can build for Mint are not just built because on some siloed data. They are built upon a metadata, which is my meaning first, and they have reusable canonicals, and they have a orchestration defined, how you linked with your partner, in which or context you have linked with your partner, so they are aware. And then along with that, with clean metadata in Mint, as part of the Mint agents development process, uh, we provide reasoning artifacts, how to reason on the data which is being exchanged between trade partners. And that reasoning helps Opus Brain to understand the data. And then the IOTDRs, that is the agents, what is that agent's intent, objectives, tasks, decision, and rules, which it needs to work on. You define those, and we have built some starting IOTDRs, and we work with our customers to tweak it to their business users. IOTDRs, nothing but it's the business users intent, objectives, tasks, decisions, and rules, which it does performs every day. So we define them for that user, so that business user can become 10x productive, because now his job, an agent is doing and preparing for him and keeping it ready so that he can review and take a decision. So he doesn't have to spend a lot of his times to analyze this data. Agent does it for him, and it comes in. And with having clean metadata, reasoning artifacts, and IOTDR, we are delivering a very intelligent agents which are execute focused on business work, not just trying to go find some random answer, but it is to help your business. These are like your co-workers or your assistants of your business users who are coming and helping them to be more productive. So so what an agent is doing is a focused digital worker in a team that understands in its business tasks, equivalent, evaluates relevant information, applies rule, produces business outcome. An agentic business process is a business workflow where agents use data, rules, reasoning, and work instructions to perform business checks, make recommendations, and move the processes forward. So example is which we are demoing, we can demo in the future sessions, is like invoice to a match, unless reviews invoice data, checks PO evidence, identifies decision discrepancies, writes results, and recommends pay, hold, or investigate. So this is a very small use case, but based on your business in each company, every business user has its intents, objectives, tasks, decisions, and rules are defined. So we can expand those for the business user, and the invoice matching agent can do this task, or in addition, if there are additional tasks they need to do, so we can expand those and work with them and make them productive. So what we are trying to do, we are bringing a structure, we are making we are bringing understanding, we're giving a structure using metadata. We are providing understanding using RAs, reasoning artifacts, and we are providing instructions through IOTDRs for agent to work. And together, metadata plus reasoning artifacts plus IOTDRs enables a reliable agentic execution. So it is not just working on some random data. We are making our Mint agents to work on with some which is very reliable, meaningful, and to get the outcomes which are making your business users more productive. So with this, we are done with the core Mint processes, an overview explanation. We will go in detail in next upcoming use cases. As we said, next session, we will talk about Mint for serialization. And now we will hand it over to Harshad to walk us through a Mint online community, so that we can, as we are talking through these tech talks, you can take advantage of our communities to connect to the core Mint team and ask questions so that we can help you answer about our product, and then we can solve your complex business problems to find ways and solutions. And we are really excited to work with you on this part. So Harshad.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Jag. I think that was an amazing explanation, pretty comprehensive from Jag. And I'm sure when we seep in all this information, there are going to be a few questions, a few doubts that we would like to discuss with the product team that Jag leads, and also a few peers who are currently implementing Mint. And for that, we have created this space, which is the TraceLink online community. And within this community, we have the Mint community that we have created very recently. And we will be onboarding all our Mint users, as well as you will see the TraceLink team here, which comprises of Jag's team, which is the product team, the community team, and a few other from the TraceLink network. So this is a place where we would want you to come and ask your questions, get them answered. And a very easy way to do that is through just creating new topics, add your titles here and the question explanations down here. And we will have all our members from the team come and answer your questions right away. For example, I just wanted to show you, we have an EU SIG community, and you can see some questions being posted here. There are responses from TraceLink community members as well as from peers from the TraceLink network. And the good thing is that once we have a solution, we simply mark it as solution. It comes right under that particular question. So the next time anyone from the Mint community has the same question, they can simply type that here in the search bar and they'll get the answer right away. So it saves you a lot of time from creating cases. It saves you a lot of time from finding the right person to get your answer. And also, it gives you the perspective of members who are actually implementing Mint, and also the perspective of the product team directly coming into the foray here. So we would love to have you all join us. You can join the Mint community via the links that you'll be getting from the account executives that you're in touch with. And it's very simple to be here. You already have the Opus SSO access, and that to take care of it. And once you are in, you can not only use the Mint community, but also the other communities that we have on the platform, if you are also part of other product ranges that we offer at TraceLink. So we look forward to welcoming you, and I look forward to also showing you more of the platform in the upcoming series. Thank you so much.
Thank you both. Thank you, Jag. Thanks, Harshad. As Harshad said, it was a very interesting tech talk and eye-opening information about Mint and what's to come as well. So very excited about this series and very excited that we have the community as well for Mint, as well as all the other forums that we have for our other solutions. And I think it's a great way for everyone to collaborate and share information. And thank you. I do have a couple of questions. Sorry, just to circle back to the presentation. I just wanted to ask, what are the challenges and benefits you've seen during the actual implementation of the notion of integrate once and interoperate with everyone?
Yep. So we're talking about here, right?
Yeah, I can't
Yeah.
see your screen. I can see your desktop. I'm not sure if you're sharing.
Okay, sorry. Let me quickly change this. Let me here. Can you see my screen?
I
No?
can.
Okay. Awesome. So yeah, the common challenges we find is like what our customers ask is like, I've been part of many customer demos and uh, different as we are implementing with many customers and as we are working with prospects. When they hear about the integrate once and interoperate with everyone, the one question they always come up with, it's too good to be true.
Mhm.
And we agree that yes, it's too good to be true because there are a lot of nitty-gritties inside of it. On face of it, when you say you integrate once and interoperate, you have one integration on one side, and then TraceLink takes care of your partner integrations. But they keep asking, like, oh, if I change something, how will it
Mhm.
impact? The key question we ask our customers back when they say is like, if you change something, does it need to be consumed by everyone or not? Because that's the question. Because you might have changed it only for one or two partners, right?
Mhm.
So once what we do is like we change your side of it, and we ask like if everyone else who is integrated for the transaction, does he really care about this additional information which is being sent by the Jag and Co, for example? And
Mhm.
if they say that yes, then what we do is like we modify the transforms. If it is a standard transform, they don't even have to modify because they start getting it immediately, because we would have taken that information. If it is a standard one, let's say if it is common in X2L, IDOC, and Edifact, we take and we update our transforms and we make it available for you. So it's available for everyone. So the data is available for you to send it and your partners to consume it. They just have to take, like, if they want to take the information and process it or not, it won't break their integration. So that's why it makes it more important to
Mhm.
understand the process. And when we dive deeper and we explain this each scenarios, they understand. Oh, now we know, we understand. And as I highlighted during my talk as well, integrate once and interoperate with everyone. This is not just core Mint concept. This is the foundation on which TraceLink has been built, and it's been working on it from almost like 2012 to 2000, starting 2012 to now. So this
Mhm.
concept works, and we have proven it, and we have built a whole company on this. So that's why we trademarked that definition itself: integrate once and interoperate with everyone.
Mhm.
And the second question we within that is like most customers ask is like, oh, you say it becomes with integrate once and interoperate, it becomes more faster. You say, uh, can you tell me the examples where you where this became the implementation onboarding became very uh, faster than what you've traditionally been doing with point to point? Yes, we have partners whom we implemented four transactions, PO, POAC, ASN invoice for nine of their partners in within 2 months. How could we do it? It's not just integrate once and interoperate. There is a lot goes into it. Um, the let's say, for example, we'll stick to the Jag and Co. integrated once. Now his side of integration was done once. Now TraceLink worked with all their nine partners and integrated all their four transactions and worked with them. Now tomorrow, 10th partner comes in. All that TraceLink will have to do for this four transactions is to work with only that new partner. They don't have to change anything on Jag and Co. That's why it
Mhm.
becomes more faster, and it expedites the way you integrate as well. Um, there are other challenges like, oh, you said now did it in 2.5 months. How could it be possible? Some of our partners don't play work with they're not as good as we. But what we have seen helps is like it's the partnership model. That is, Jag and Co team member, one dedicated person, works with TraceLink's implementation team, and they engage the partners' team members. And we understand that partners have their different priorities with their own IT implementation. So we come up with the plan, working with this, and become partners in the whole implementation. Partners trying to bring a stakeholder and trying to bring a dedicated contact so that
Mhm.
they can take back the challenges or issues we are running into and work through them very quickly and get those resolved and make progress. So this is this partnership model of implementation. We are now bringing one one from the customer, and one person from the partner, and
Mhm.
TraceLink mediating this partnership, this network partnership actually helped us. This is where we have seen our implementations and onboarding expediting with customers, where we had this real good engagement and partnership working model working together.
That sounds great. Yeah, and that makes sense with that collaboration, that it can expedite the process, as well. Um, and I just had another question as well. What do you think? So talking about agents and the future, um, what do you think companies can start doing now to prepare for working with agents? And do you imagine it, or do you envisage it being a gradual process?
Yes, to answer your question first, what can they do now? The bigger challenge, as I started off with why Mint exists, is like bigger questions life sciences industry is struggling with is like, how can I get my end-to-end digitization? So if you look at the digitization maturity model in the life sciences industry itself, the wholesalers are the ones who have been driving the digitization. They are at the top tier ones who have more of their IT systems. um, they have engaged, they have dedicated systems, they have integration capabilities ready. Then follows the MAHs who are trying to catch up so that because they can serve better their wholesalers, not just wholesaler, now they can talk to the hospitals and dispensers and work with them directly as well. And then next comes is the hospitals. And then hospitals are catching up because they have their own systems, but they really want to make sure that they want to they want to get the visibility into like when the products are coming so that they know like, oh, the product will be available on time to their partners or not. And then finally comes the CMOs. That's where the more challenge is. Like we have seen the adoption is very less. So what Mint will help them is like today is that they can start the digitization part. And the key is like, even if they have today, to some extent, these are all very siloed. The data which they have built is not like a purely metadata driven first concept. As I explained, the data which they have in tables are just an attributes, but the whole business logic sits in their applications. So that becomes a more challenge for them to use the data and use a really meaningful agents which can give them the real business outcomes. So if they start with, if what they can do today is to start the exchange with Mint today using our metadata first,
Mhm.
then right after they start exchanging these transactions or the business orchestrations, then they can immediately start experiencing they can start taking advantage of the agents, because once you have the small set of data also, you can start seeing the agents working for you,
Mhm.
and then you can start seeing the productivity going up, and then you can gradually increase the number of transactions and number of partners you want to onboard, so that you can start seeing the more of your business ecosystem on TraceLink network, and then you have more agents and the productivity going up for you to deliver the business value for your business, and you're helping your business users to be more productive. Even the scale is growing up exponentially. So that's what
Mhm.
to start. What we want to do, our customers do is like start today with the business transactions, and immediately you can start take advantage of agents using Mint, taking Opus Brains Mint agents, and continue to grow and
Mhm.
scale. So it's a process. Yes, you can start today, but it can grow gradually. But Mint agents are available now, so you can start working with them.
Mhm. And what do you have any suggested timelines, or is that a very individual case by case
Uh,
proposal?
I can tell you with an example. We have a lighthouse partner customers who
Hmm.
have signed, who have been sharing, exchanging their data for last 1 year with us. So we are
Hmm.
working with them right now, and they have, and what we have seen is the some of these customers are so bought into the agents, Mint agents model. So they
Hmm.
have done their business analysis and came back saying that these are our top 10 use cases where we see these are our revenue impact. And we
Hmm.
want to, and they rank their use cases as well, saying that this is number one, number two, number three use case we want our first Mint agents to work on. So if you have the data starting uh, uh, August and starting August, September, you can start using the Mint agents and start working and start taking the advantage of Mint agents uh, to make your business users more productive.
Great. That sounds brilliant. And thank you again. So the next tech talk is next week. So hopefully you can join us next week. Jag, do you know who's presenting the tech talk next week? I think it's on external manufacturing use case.
There is a slight change. Next week, we're going to talk about the Mint for serialization. That will be led
Okay.
by Sanan. So because we want to take that, that's one area where we saw many customers using that model, that particular use case to solve their business problems. And we wanted to make sure that everyone understands. And we'll talk about one particular use case, which many of the MAHs would like or interested to work with us, which is the how we can integrate with the UNICEF itself, because they want to work with UNICEF in trying to get the serialized products to their customers in African and different nations where UNICEF is operating to provide medicine to the underprivileged, or where the basic medication is also not available. So we would like to focus on that use case so that our customers can our existing customers and prospects can understand how they can take advantage of it in bringing the greater good to the world itself by
Brilliant.
partnering with UNICEF.
Sounds really good. Yeah, and a very good use case. And thank you so much again. And yeah, I look forward to speaking with you next week. And as mentioned, this will be posted on TraceLink University. And if you do have any follow-up questions, as always, please feel free to email tracelinkuniversity@tracelink.com. And I can, of course, forward them on to Jag and his team.
Sounds good. Thank you, Laura, for having us. And we look forward to continuing to learn and educate our customers on Mint.
Yes, thank you so much. Take care. Bye.
Bye.